Hi guys, so I'm in Tokyo again, and a really cool guy that I've been working with graphically, I've been doing a lot of their posters, is Chris from Austrian Ballet Company Tokyo that I'm sitting here with at a cafe. Hi Chris.
Having my coffee.
So I thought I'd ask him a little bit about how ballet works in Tokyo and the differences compared to Europe and stuff like that. So that's what we're gonna do.
Well, my name is Chris and I speak German, so maybe some of you speak German in school. You had German in school. No, I don't speak any Danish, you can believe me that, unfortunately. And I was working in the State Opera Ballet in Vienna, then I danced in America for 4 years. And then with September 11, the visa situation really became difficult in America for us artists, and they cut all these budgets for the ballet companies like minus 40%.
Ouch.
So it was really like my salary was cut in half almost, because all the donations they went then to the victims of September 11.
Yeah, of
and
course.
I said like, that's cool, but I need to make my living.
Yeah.
And so actually my wife she grew up in Austria, but she's Japanese, so she looks Japanese, but she has nothing Japanese in her heart. She's just a Viennese girl. And she never has been in Tokyo before.
Really?
I mean, just maybe as a child when she was 6 to visit her grandma. And she said to me, Chris, why don't we start living in Tokyo? And I was like, I don't speak any Japanese, I never was in Tokyo, I have no idea. And so we took all our luggage, like 4 30-kilo bags. This was everything we had from Europe to America and from America to Tokyo, and we came to Tokyo. And well, I just started to take dance classes because I needed to stay in shape.
Yeah.
And people just saw me as a foreigner, and this time I was 10 years younger and now a little bit old for a dancer. And so I got immediately a lot of jobs. Like it's called this hapiokai. This means every school has once a year a performance. It's like a school, like the yearly school production.
Yeah.
And so I got in maybe 30 of these school productions in Tokyo, and this pays a fortune. Like you get paid maybe $2,000, $3,000 as a man, only as a man per performance. So when you do 3-4 performances a month, you're getting like $6,000, $8,000, and it was for me money I never seen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the level of the performances is so low that well, we don't talk about it. The level of the performances is really low. So then when you show it to the European dancers, to my friends in Vienna, you would say, well, like, what are you doing at this time? I would say, like, I made a lot of money in this, so can you show me what you have done?
No.
Well, nobody took a video, I'm sorry. Oh, nobody did a picture, I'm sorry. In reality, it's something we cannot show in Europe.
Do you have the same thing in Europe or in the US with those?
In Europe we have just like a really high level. Like for example in Denmark you have the Danish ballet.
Yeah.
The name Danish ballet is like tip top. They are doing classics, they're doing contemporary, it's really super. Here in Tokyo you have a couple of Japanese companies, but they're not known in the foreign countries because the level is just weaker, let's say a little bit weaker.
Yeah, that's a nice way. Yeah, that's a good way of saying it.
But the interesting thing is, if you walk here in Tokyo around, you pass every 5 minutes a ballet school. So the underground scene of ballet, it's like I have 30 dancers in the company. Of these 30 dancers, 20 have a ballet school. So there's like tons of ballet out in the city.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, most of them are unqualified, not well-educated teachers. So this means the level of it is quite weak,
right.
But there's lots of it.
Because I was thinking it would actually be a little bit weird when you said that the level is a little bit weak in Tokyo, because I'm thinking, well, all these small skinny girls that are working their asses off way more than we do in Europe, you'd think they would be great.
Well, it depends, like the big 3 ballet companies, they have good people, of course.
Yeah.
But the rest is really weak. This is because ballet started in Japan here maybe 1940-50. So the first Russian teachers came to Japan, and it's an island. So it's a very, very limited. I mean, you have seen in graphic design, it's a very specific market. It's also in ballet a very specific market.
Okay.
So we share. It's a kind of interesting, odd.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, what would you say the right off the top of your head, what would be the biggest difference from ballet in Austria to ballet in Tokyo?
Okay, so we Austrians, we are lazy, but we are gifted and good. So this means I work 3 hours a day and then I'm tired, I go home, I want to see a movie, I go to a restaurant, I hang out with my friends, I go to a party. But what I'm doing in the ballet studio is good, because we are chosen as kids to be good.
Yeah.
So the people here, they work 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. Unfortunately, many of them not really, their bodies don't fit. So they work really hard. But it's like the body condition is really just not really perfectly done. It's not really for dance. At the same time, the teachers really don't know how to specifically correct them.
Right.
So they
you said something, the teaching level wasn't...
So they put a lot of hours in, which we as Europeans never would do. And then finally they feel great because they work 10 hours a day, regardless of the result. We feel good because we have done only 3 hours, have done a great job and it looks good. So that's a big difference.
Yeah, okay.
So I would say we Europeans never would work as much as Japanese would work. Never, ever.
No, but I think that's in almost any job in the world. The Japanese people just work more. I mean, Europeans, we never work.
Yeah, and you know, like, I just had a talk, you know, these Japanese values. Work as hard as you can until you faint in any company. Work as many hours as you can from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night. Then you have this specific word, you have to remember that it's called gaman, which means endure.
Yeah.
We Europeans, we don't want endure. I mean, we're doing, but at 5 o'clock we stop working.
Yeah.
Or it's Saturday, Sunday, I don't want to go to my company, I want to take a rest. Here, it's different.
Yeah,
it's really different.
One way I thought of saying it, actually many years ago, is I said Europeans work to live, and Japanese people live to work.
Exactly.
Because in Europe, work is a way to get money so we can have fun.
Yes,
so we can have a cool life.
Yeah.
But in Japan, it's much more you live so you can work more.
Yeah, and you know, like when I go back to Vienna, everybody at 5 o'clock, my friends, you know, like I come to Vienna, like you come to Tokyo, you meet all your friends at 5 o'clock, all my friends are free. Basically I say, let's hook up, let's go there. If I call here anybody at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, no one's free.
No way.
No.
You have to
in Tokyo it's much more like, even my girlfriend, she usually she doesn't end work until 9 in the evening. And she actually changed jobs now. Now it's the good job. Her old job, sometimes she would miss the last train.
I mean, there's no way. And
imagine that in Europe.
And you don't get even, you know, like this over hours.
Nah.
They don't get paid.
I know.
So, and that's something. Also, another thing which is very strange. In how can I explain you that the male dancers here in Japan, there's so few male dancers. So we have a saying in Austrian, in German, you say, if you only have one eye and if you only have one leg, it's enough to become a male ballet dancer. And this fits here very good. There's so few male dancers.
Well, yeah, I suppose, because if you think about it, Tokyo is very much about, like, you know, the strong classical man who goes out to work and takes care of his wife, and being a ballet dancer just doesn't fit that old stereotypical image at all.
Right.
You know, if you think Japanese man, you think old salary man. You know, he's kind of grumpy, a little bit drunk, and he's in the train at 9 o'clock. You know, and reading the newspaper, going home from work or something.
Yeah, that's typically,
ballet dancer is just not in that image at all.
Right. So there are very few dancers and male dancers, and they are really carried by the teachers. We are really like, I mean not me, but you know, like we really feeling good treated. You come to rehearsal, the ballet master comes to you, he gives you like a sandwich, he gives you something to drink. The same, like the dancer here, Kari, who is sitting beside me, the same dancer, like she's a woman, she's coming to rehearsal, she gets nothing, no drinks, no sandwiches, I get 2 drinks, 2 sandwiches. So that's a very unfair. For me, I mean, I think it's unfair.
Yeah.
It's really like, as a European man, I say like, emancipation. Girls, you know, get up, you know, like.
And finish it up then.
Alright.
So, do you think it's harder being a ballet dancer in Tokyo compared to Europe or in Europe?
In Tokyo you have to find the connections. You know, like there are few ballet companies, the big companies, but all the big companies, they don't really pay you money. Like in the Royal Danish Ballet, you get money per month. You can have a car, you can have an apartment. Here the company, they pay you a kind of contribution to your living. Let's say this would be like they pay you $500, for example, translated like they pay you 500 euros. With 500 euros, it's not enough for a man to live.
No.
Or like also like for Gumayen in Japan, you cannot do really something. So you're forced to do side jobs, which in Europe you're so busy in the company that you cannot do side jobs. So it's really difficult here. If you're only a good dancer and you're in a company, even the best dancer, you don't get enough money from the company to make your living.
No.
So you need the side jobs. That's very different than to Europe.
And when you were talking about a little bit lower standard here, that might also have something to do with it, because you think, well, people simply can't put as much energy into ballet if they have to have a part-time job going at the same time.
I mean, I'm doing a performance like 3 weeks ago, and I said to the man, you know, like, what, where are you going? And he said, well, I'm going now to the metro, to the petrol station. I said, petrol station. I'm like, you have your car parked there? He's like, I'm working there. So I go, how can you work at the petrol station and make a performance with me? And he said, well, that's my side job. I said, what's your side job? He said, like, I'm filling cars with petrol. That's but he was a complete professional dancer.
Yeah.
So we don't have that in Europe. So this means also the people are not so proud. We Austrians, you know, we are proud. If I'm a dancer, I'm a dancer. You know, I'm doing just dance. Here I'm a dancer, and I'm filling gas in cars. I'm like, wow, that's a cool guy. I never could do that. Was amazed about him.
So if okay, let's finish it up and say if you could give a short advice to someone, male or female, that wanted to become a ballet dancer in Tokyo, what would that be?
Be not proud, just really work as hard as you can and try to look for the best foreign teacher. Don't trust Japanese teachers. You have to find the foreigners, because ballet comes from Europe, it comes from France, from Russia. So don't learn from Japanese people, learn from the foreigners, because even a not good foreigner has more of the flair, the atmosphere, because we have seen in Europe things where it comes from.
Yeah.
So look for the foreigners, trust the foreigners, don't trust balance the Japanese art with the foreign influences. Don't just go on the Japanese side, because if you ever move out as a Japanese dancer to Europe or America, people will sometimes say, where does he come from? I never have seen him. So you have to keep it balanced. Japanese and European, American ways united.
Yeah, and don't expect to get paid very much.
Don't expect it to get paid very much.
Okay, well, thank you for talking with me.
No, thanks. Good.